Ladies and gentlemen, you know me. I have one of the most advanced studio setups in all of YouTube. The technology behind the technology behind what I do, the production value is just beyond belief. So, just listen to this. This is on at 1 minute and 42 seconds on a Fox News segment. Are Democrats calling for, let's just say, criminal activity after a Supreme Court ruling? This is today. It already has 485,000 views. And this is a quote from a Democratic congresswoman. So check this out. Hopefully you can hear it all right. And here we go.
Or not condemning violence. I want to play this soundbite from California Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, and then we'll get your response to this, Laura.
We've seen acts of violence in previous weeks when the leak came out. We've seen people condoning those acts of violence, especially in the wake of today's decision. Your opinion on that?
Frankly, the government trying to tell me what to do with my body feels like an act of violence in and of itself.
As for the actual acts of violence that have taken place, do you condone it? Yes or no?
I think people should do what they think is the most effective way to stand up to this hateful and shameful decision.
Indicating violence.
Okay. So, let's talk about the absolutely absurd leap of logic. It is not a criminal activity. It is not a criminal act for the Supreme Court to make any ruling. It's actually the antithesis. It is literally the antithesis of a criminal act. So, this Democratic congresswoman, it's very interesting. I believe she was also in the news for condemning Trump pertaining to what took place in January. And she was basically talking about how there's an extreme conservative element, a Republican element within politics that condones criminal conduct and undermines democracy. And you have, here we go, fear turned to resolve for Representative Sarah Jacobs on January. So here, House Dem Jacobs credits Pence's decision. Here, Congresswoman Jacobs applauds adoption of commission proposal by Speaker Pelosi. And it's like, you just condoned criminal activity. You just likened. This is why nobody takes Democrats seriously. You have a Democrat who has made a huge deal of the January Commission and what took place, which I condemn 2 Januaries ago. But I also condemn the $1 to $2 billion in property damage, although I support the cause. 2 summers ago, the $1 to $2 billion in property damage, the 19 lives lost according to Wikipedia, the 14,000 arrests, and you had Democrats bailing out demonstrators. And you had Democrats and media giving tacit approval. But of course, Trump, the orange monster, was president then. So then it was okay for all this chaos and mayhem because it was Trump. Well, now you have mashed potato brains Joe, you have Merrick Garland, you have Democrats in the House, the Senate, and the executive. Now, in the Oval Office. So who's condemning widespread acts of chaos, mayhem, criminal conduct? You just heard Representative Jacobs say that the Supreme Court engaged in a criminal act. This is the absurd leap of logic. It is not they're not telling you what to do with your body. The Supreme Court's not telling you anything. It is saying it's not in the Constitution. It goes to the states. End of story. That's it. Okay? You cheated Bernie Sanders in 2016, Democrats. You cheated. I had a front row seat to the cheating. He would have won at that moment in time. You did this to yourself. You would have had 3 liberal Supreme Court justices, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, 3 other Democratic officials were forced to resign. The DNC emails showed that the whole primary was a complete farce and sham, and so Donna Brazile, Elizabeth Warren, everyone agreed that that Bernie Sanders was cheated. Had it been a fair primary, he would have won the primary. And even if even if Clinton got more, it really doesn't matter. If there should have been a contested primary, which is what he said he was going to do, and he should have simply made the case. And if they wanted to win, because he did better in polls against Trump consistently, okay, they could have gone with somebody who could have defeated Trump and wouldn't have lost Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, because Comey wrote a letter. Comey wouldn't have been able to write a letter because Bernie Sanders didn't have a private server. Now, Bernie Sanders, private servers with top secret intelligence and classified data flying around. That being said, you did this to yourselves, Democrats. Now, Bernie Sanders is a tool of the Democratic Party. He would be the same type of... He wouldn't be a good president if he's steamrolled by the Lincoln Project, the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld foreign policy advocates within the Democratic Party. The Never Trump, Liz Cheney, Kinzinger, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld foreign policy hawks are now embedded within the Democratic Party, and he would have listened to them. And the media also would have gone after him. He wouldn't have fought. He wouldn't have defended himself. He didn't even acknowledge that he was cheated. Anyway, the point is, Trump opposes the Lincoln Project and never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, and that's how you go from Bernie Sanders to Trump. Okay, but see, the point, ladies and gentlemen, is that I was quoted in NPR. I told everyone Clinton was going to lose. By the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024 or Hillary DeSantis 2024. So I've explained that. But when you have a congresswoman who is making absurd, like when you have a person in Congress who's making absurd leaps of logic, condemning Trump for criminal activity that he didn't commit, and condoning, giving tacit approval to criminal activity against Supreme Court justices, against innocent people, against the Arizona State Senate last night. Where is Congresswoman Jacobs to condemn the Arizona State Senate being overrun by demonstrators? Okay, or what happened in Buffalo with an incendiary device that could have ended the lives of so many people. God forbid, the building was destroyed. There is so much violence and criminal activity that the left commits, and you have the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Homeland Security, investigating each one of those organizations. And each of these organizations think that, you know what, they're given carte blanche, free pass to just do anything. It's not true. Democrats turn on other Democrats in a nanosecond. Liberals, the left, they turn on each other all the time. So what's taking place is that now you have to have debate, discourse, dialogue, discussion. You have to have some kind of way to convince Republicans in red states. Democrats need to convince through dialogue, discourse, debate, discussion, politics that the pro-life argument is wrong within those red states. Guess what? They might be incapable of that. This is the only thing, this was the most effective tool to get people to vote blue no matter who. They don't have that anymore. That also led to the dysfunction within the primary. They cheated their own candidate, Bernie Sanders, because they had YouTube pundits and they had journalists and they had left-leaning advocates who said, it really doesn't matter, vote blue no matter who. Oh, too bad Bernie was cheated. Vote blue no matter who because of the Supreme Court. And then you didn't get what you wanted. And because the more that you engage in corrupt behavior, the less likely it is that people will simply fall in line. And so by 2016, there were people like me who were lifelong Democrats who said, I had enough. I'm not going to be intimidated anymore with the Supreme Court argument. I don't want to vote for never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts and military interventions and regime changes, which are the most important issue. Climate change, much less important than that, because you have something called nuclear confrontation, and you have to know something about history, and you have to know something about modern U.S. history, which morally superior liberal Democrats don't really know much about. They think that Facebook ads make them the cold warriors of today. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. You heard the Congress, you heard the representative statements. They are tacitly giving approval, and it's not going to work out very well in the midterms because they're going to lose close to 70 seats, and you have to speak, dialogue, discourse, debate, use your head and be able to convince the other side. You're not going to intimidate Clarence Thomas or anyone. God bless the Supreme Court justices, all of them. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right